Hey, what up, everybody? We are back with another modern video, and this time we're milling it up again. Alright, so the last time that we played Mill, we were trying out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles card, and yeah, Kitsune's technique is really good. It's fine in a meta where you know that your crabs can attack and just get to go off and do your thing. The turn 3 kill is nice, but you can still do that in regular Mill, so we're just going and playing a almost kind of standard version of Mill. So let's talk about what might differ in this deck and then get into some games. But like always, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead, cut that subscribe button while we cut up our opponents with Mill. Alright, so throwing their stuff into their graveyard. Crab, some lands to trigger it. Cool. Where is this deck differing? It's playing snow-covered islands, snow-covered swamps. Why? Because it can. This is from the 5-0 deck dump, and yeah, there were a couple of cards I didn't agree with. It was playing Oboro and Mikokoro, which Mikokoro's cool, draw some extra cards. Your opponent also draws some cards, so yeah, drawing extra stuff is like milling, I guess. The snow-covered islands, snow-covered swamps, just making sure you don't get blown out by opposing mill decks that are trying to get rid of your stuff, fine. The numbers are where I start to get a little weirded out. 3 surgicals, 3 vision. Sure, they can maybe be dead draws late in the game. 4 fatal push, standard, fine. You need the removal in modern. 2 glimpse the unthinkable. The versions of this deck that existed before this 5-0 list only ran 4, and now this one's running 2. Interesting. Still 4 copies of Drown. Yeah, that's fine. Only doing 2 of this is bizarre, though, right? It gets weirder. 3 copies of Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Can be a 4 of, can be a 3 of. Okay, that's fine. Fractured Sanity, normal, right? Crypt Incursion. So you're main boarding against the graveyard decks right now, which modern is definitely skewing a little bit heavier on graveyard synergies. Things like Living End are starting to have a heyday again, obviously dealing with Boros shenanigans. Reasonable. It's also running Murderous Cut. Yeah, we highlighted this earlier in the little subscription roll, but Murderous Cut deals with big creatures. If Murktide is pretty big in your meta, I could see this. It gets rid of a Kappa Cannoneer on turn 5, sure, but you're probably already dead by that point. If they're resolving a Murktide Regent, you might already be dead by that point. So there's a couple of questionable things in here, but again, fairly standard outside of that. Sideboard, Hercule's Recall. Liking this because Affinity is having a heyday right now with all the TMNT cards. Consign to Memory, deal with triggers. There's a lot of Eldrazi that's out there on the ladder, so reasonable. 2 copies of Extirpate, dealing with all the combo decks, just in case Surgical isn't already enough. Got Toxic Deluge. It's kind of normal to have 1 board wipe in here. The version that 5-0'd ran a Damnation, which is kind of surprising. Copy of the Meat Hook Massacre. Great against Boros Energy. Boros Energy and really like all low to the ground decks seem to be a bit of a problem for Mill because it can just be a turn too slow. So if you're trying to edge against a more aggressive meta, this is probably the way to do it. Couple copies of Soul Guide Lantern. The OG version of this deck had 2 Ghost Quarters, and I can see that being a good call against the Eldrazi decks. I can see it being a really good play against Titan. But again, at a certain point, aren't you just maybe overboarding? It synergizes well with the crabs, but you're still potentially putting your opponent up a land, and this doesn't replace itself the way the Field of Ruin does. Seems like an interesting choice in those matchups. We've got the Ensnaring Bridge. It's about what you would expect. Normal versions play 2 to 3. The 5-0 list play 2. We're just upping it because it kind of needs to be high. And a Singleton Engineered Explosive. Again, just get rid of anything, be it little tokens in Affinity or just low to the ground creatures, artifacts, whatever. It's not bad. But that's everything. I'll see y'all in match number 1. All right, game number 1. This hand looks okay. So we definitely want to try this one out. Okay, yeah, we're going to keep this. Then we'll let our opponent do their thing. All right, Black Cleave Cliffs and Mako. Okay. Well. Now we have a interesting question that we want to answer, and I think it is just playing this and passing. Okay. So opponent goes, move to combat, just do this. Not doing anything? Okay. So, they're just passing. Alright, well. We are going to... No, we're not going to kill that. We need to crack this, get a watery grave, and then do crab here. And pass. Okay, yeah, so they pushed the crab. It's about what we expected. Now they're going to fetch and probably do something. Surveilling. What? What are you surveilling? Necrodom. Huh. Well, that's gone. Okay. Sick. Love that. Glad that we took it out of their hand, too. So it looks like they're just doing red-black things with cool but rude. Oh my god. This opponent is a person of taste. Love that. Alright, so... we know that they have 3 cards in their hand. 4 cards. Play the cleave. Play this. And then we're just going to go ahead and kill that because reasons. We can go for Ruin Crab next turn. Yeah. I don't mind any of this. Alright. Ruin Crab is out. Opponent draws a card. Does some more things. Bad news is if they play a Croxa, we have to discard one of these Fractureds. Alright, we now no longer know what is in their hand at all. But we know that it wasn't great. Alright, so we're going to block. And do nothing? Do nothing, opponent. Cool but rude. Gross. Alright, so doing that, level 2 it. Well, we can't really do anything disgusting with this just yet. We need some lands. Alright. So, opponent flips their Kiki. They go swingy. And I dig this. I kind of wish our opponent was playing Faithless Looting in addition to all this other stuff, but it feels like just such a good, genuine, like, old school modern deck. I mess with this heavily. Alright. So, 2 damage. Do a bunch of things. You got Swamp that you discarded. Faithless Looting. Okay. That's 4 And then another 4 is 8. Ugh, okay, we are closer to dead than we expected. Alright, Croaks is in the yard. They can flash back Faithless Looting and almost guarantee themselves a win. Yeah, I don't think we're overcoming that. Alright, we can happily scoop that one up. Okay, so Sweet Rakdos deck. What are we bringing in against it? So Ensnaring Bridge could be good. Engineered Explosives is probably the best thing that we got because it's like the only way that we can deal with the cool but rude. There's an argument to maybe be made for Consign coming in. These extirpates are probably fine. We'll take out Murderous Cut. Crypt Incursion is great. And I think we'll cut Jace because it might be just a turn too slow. And cut a Fatal Push and run it. Yeah. Okay, we're going to be on the play for game number 2. And hand is great. Now we're going to start with a Polluted Delta and not do anything else because we want our crab to live and do something. Alright, they're just going to Thought Seize us. We're going to go ahead and fetch, get this Undercity Sewer, Surveil. Can't surveil the top of the deck, and the top of the deck is trash. So Hedron Crab is unfortunately the best pick for them here. Alright, Hedron Crab is gone, and then we are left with a, unfortunately, wildly unplayable hand. Like, Fractured Sanity would at least help us mill for 4, which could be useful, but oh, they go for the Surgical. Okay. That honestly makes me feel a little bit better about some of this. Let's go for the Field of Ruin. Let's target them, and I mean, we're absolutely happy with this. Okay, Zidane, Marsh Flats, nothing spectacular. Nothing spectacular came out of that mill for us. Alright, then they go Cool but Rude. Are we about to get combo killed? I think so. Alright. Ottawar is down. Mill you for a bunch. If we get hit with the turn 3, we're so hosed. Is there some logic to have maybe held up Drown in the Lock? Absolutely. But we're just letting it go. Alright. Graven Cairn. Alright, fingers crossed. Come on, we're not cursed. We're not cursed. No Necrodome? I think no Necrodome? Okay. Doing stuff for red. Let's go. We're back in it. Okay, so now we need untapped land in some capacity. Mako is fine. Like, we're not super happy to see Mako, but again, it's so much better than Necrodome. Okay. Unfortunately, we're going to have to let this go. If the opponent hits Necrodome, we got to counter it. If they do anything else, And I think they're just digging at this point. Alright, there's a Croxa. Croxa, discard, draw. Oh. Lightning Bolt. Brutal. Okay. Still just letting it go. We're letting it go. Ain't nothing happening. Okay. The good news is they cannot Croxa right now. But we have to hope that this will not have any other downsides. Okay. So we can cycle this, draw a card. Are they going to let it happen? Okay, they stomped that. Alright. We got to kill this. Glad that we did it this way. We kind of had just a slight amount of foresight. Ooh. Ooh. Alright. So now the Croxa is gone. Okay. So Faithless Looting, Cool But Rude, and Razorkin Needlehead. Okay. Well, I think the move now is just to cast his Visions. Alright, Visions from the Beyond hits a Crypt Incursion. Not really what we wanted to see either, honestly. Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in the graveyard. They get eaten up by this. There's that. And Cool But Rude. Oh, looting. Yep. Looting does things. And discard another Cool But Rude and a Marauding Mako. Okay. Just gonna tank that, and then just gonna pass. Just gonna pass. And let this Crypt Incursion do what it needs to do. Okay. Opponent swinging. Now, as long as they don't hit the Necrodome here, we're good. Oh? Oh? What are you doing? There's no way you're going to cast the instant speed spell, right? Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Nothing crazy yet. Sick. So now you're just going to go ahead and try and... Mmm. Mmm. Yeah, we're just countering that. Yeah. Ain't no reason not to. Okay. Well, you know what, opponent? If you got it, you got it. All right. Hit me with your best shot. We're up to 18. The good news is we can go and engineered explosives on this next turn if we need to. Okay, so Cruel but or Cool but Rude ends up discarding what? Okay, discard Bolt, draw a card. Weird that they didn't keep it, but I can maybe understand. Oh. Oh no. GG's. Dang, that's the deck right there. That is a good deck. All right, see you guys in match number 2. All right. Game number 2, match number 2, match number 2, yeah. We're going to keep this hand. Starts off by doing the turn 1 thing. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Well, hate that for me. Alright, so our opponent's going to try to burn us out with their stuff. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that one, but it's definitely something. Okaiba? Yeah. Dog, what? Mm. Neat. Okay, so Black Burn. This is kind of spicy. I mess with it. Okay. So, end step. Alright. Take 2 more. I mean, we're going to go ahead and just do this. Mill you for some cards. Chancellor? Okay, so glad we're not using this Tasha right now. I would like for a creature to enter the graveyard. Okay. Well, now we need our opponent to fetch. Crazy thing is we can die right here. Alright, so is it worth it to preserve our life total with this? And you know what? I think it might be okay just to do this for now. So, like, we'll tank some, and that's gonna suck, but it does at least let us preserve a bit more of our life. We can Crypt Incursion and gain some of this back. Yeah. I don't hate it. But dang, this puts us in a really interesting spot. Okay. So, opponent's doing a bunch of things. Nothing in their second main. Cool. Alright. Target you. Okay. Let's get a swamp and target you. Alright. Lots of cards that we just hit there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we're going to gain a bunch of life here, which I can actually be okay with. So we can also Murderous Cut this Nezumi, which will be nice. Alright, Nurturing Peatland. Alright, now what is the opponent going to do in second main? They have the ability to go for Necrodom here, and if they Necrodom, we counter. If they just go to end step, I think we can Murderous Cut the Nezumi. Yeah. I would like for us to hit just some more of our land drops. Alright. We fear nothing. Sick. Alright. Now, there are not enough cards to make that great right now. There's maybe an argument to just cycling it here and drawing a card. Oh, but opponent's just drawing a card. Okay. Rad. Do we care about this? This first one, maybe not. Okay. Do we care about this? And I think the answer is yes. We deal with this. Okay, so now we've got extra. Wow, we should not have tapped out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we died to that. Wow, that was insane. Okay, so we need to bring in these Toxic Deluges. Now, what cards do we want to get rid of in this matchup? Murderous Cut seems like an easy cut there. And take that out. Ghost Quarter actually seems really good here as well. So we'll take out a Fatal Push and, yeah, run it like that. Wow. Okay. We're going to be on the play for game number 2. And I don't like that hand. It's a bit too slow. This one, however, is fine. We will keep it and we'll put back a extra copy of Tasha. Okay, Chancellor of the Dross is already such a bad start for us. Let's get a blue source. We're not even going to worry about it being blue-black. We just need this. And say go. Okay, so Chancellor's in hand. Alright. So now we're in a predicament. Alright. So opponent can go turn 1 and play the Sleeper Agent and kind of break us a little bit. So let's hope that that's not the case. Alright, so opponent has gone for the Peatland into a Duress. Duress ain't hitting anything cool in our hand, which is great. Now, this Fractured Sanity needs to turn into something else. Okay, Requiting Hex and a bunch of other cards. I mean, as cool as it would be for us to have the ability to deal with that. Okay, we took 2 Soul Spikes out of their deck. So That Chancellor may end up sitting there for most of the game. Alright, Fellmeyer. And Sorin. Sorin is a play. It's a very strong play for our opponent. If they gain a bunch of life off of either a Soul Spike, a Sovereign's Bite, they can start doming us for a good bit with the flip side, which is a problem. But we're also about to start milling them for a bunch. And, alright, there's 8. There is 8 damage that we're taking. Okay. So this is already looking like a bit of a problem. Our opponent could just top deck an insane win here soon. And us not having a way to deal with this Sorin is such a problem. Alright, so save targets. Always yield. I mean, we're throwing a lot of damage at him. We're throwing a lot of deck damage at him. And we got rid of a couple Necrodoms. So we've taken away a lot of the biggest hits in their deck. That's a good thing. If they go for Sovereign's Bite here, we're taking 6. Yeah. So that's 4, and then we die? Yeah, we die to that. Oh my gosh. Turn 3 wins again. Like that. Alright, so see you guys in match number 3. Alright. Match number 3. We get to be on the play, and I think this hand's actually great. It gives us so many options, and I think we do just need to be super aggressive with this crab, and let's go for the Watery Grave on 1. That way we can hold up this Otawara and hopefully get some traction with that. Alright, so Watery Grave, Ruin Crab, and let's see. Opponent goes Bloodstained, fetching. If only we had the Archive Trap. Steam Vents, is this living? It might be living. Hot dog. This thing is living. Alright, well, we will. Let's go ahead and actually just get this Undercity Sewer. We're gonna kill this thing. Okay, opponent is just doing the prowess thing. So, kill that. No regrets. I doubt we're going to get 17 out of nowhere. That's part of the equation to 17ing us out of nowhere. Alright, Corey Steele is unfortunately here. Do we block this? I think the answer is no. Okay, this is great. We're going to go ahead and mill 10 cards out of your deck. Okay, we have gotten a majority of your power off the table, which I can be thrilled about that. Now, was there maybe some logic to doing anything else? Probably. Okay, and guaranteed we're going to get to kill something. We've taken a Corey Steele out of their deck. In 20-something cards, they've probably got more. They hit a Bloodstained Mire and played a Bloodstained Mire. There's a mountain. There's Darcy. Not doing anything there. Cool. So on that note, we will cast this, kill that. And pass to our opponent. Pass to us. Okay. So now the question becomes, how do we want to deal with them? I think the biggest thing that we can do is take any of the remaining Quarry Steels out of their deck. That gives them a lot of outs. And they're going to get some value out of all of that stuff. So what I think we also need to do is play this. We took more things out of their deck. We want to eliminate this as a potential threat. And I think Tasha's wins here. In fact, I'm like 90% sure Tasha's off the top wins us this game. Okay, so Expressive, doing the thing. And Expressive is going to hit what? Now, important for us to remember here is Lava Dart does actually kill this, which is a bit of a problem. Now, they hit Mutagenic Growth. Okay. So I think we are just... Well, no, we're not dead. The good news is that we are not dead. We'll block this. Helps us not take as much damage. And there's that. And a couple life. And we're at 1. We are at 1. Oh, God. This is brutal. We're at 1. We can mill this opponent for 15. They've still got 3 in hand. Like, it's just not looking so hot for us. Yeah, and there's a Lava Dart. Cool. We'll concede there. We'll concede there. Alright, so what do we want against this just super low to the ground deck? We want Meat Hook Massacre. We want Engineered. We want Ensnaring Bridge, honestly. And I think we want to take out some of the cards that would hurt us. Some of the slower things. Murderous Cut is a possible cut. Jace is fine to cut. And I think these Fractured Sanities... It's like Fractured Sanity... Surgical's not good. We need as much interaction as possible, and that's not necessarily the type of interaction that we want to have. Like, it's good if we can hit an early Quarry Steel, and then bad against literally everything else, but we'll keep in 1. We'll keep in 1. And then run it. Alright. Game number 2. This is a hand. Okay. So we're going to start with Island Ruin Crab, and then we can Polluted and hope to hit land number 3, which will be great. Now, the real question is, do we want to go Undercity or just a basic swamp? That's kind of the problem that we need to ask. Alright, no attack means that they don't have a mutagenic. Okay. Okay. well, now can we deal with this? We're going to get a swamp. We need to get rid of as many cards as we can. 2 slick shots going away is huge, by the way. Okay. There's Bobble. Now, let's see what the opponent does here. Alright, they're attacking with both. Before combat damage happens, let's kill it. Let's go. Alright. We survived. We've milled them for, let's see, 7 so far. Okay, so we are back in the problem of not drawing the pieces that we want. That's an issue. Okay, so Bobble happens. Okay. And you are exiling what, opponent? If I had to guess, probably a land. Yeah. Steam Vents, shock it in. Yeah. That's a card you can play. Yep. Send that over there. And attack us with both. Are you going to do anything? Okay. Just move into blocks. Do that. Alright, opponent. You want to see that same move again? I'll give you that exact same song. Or maybe. Maybe not. Because they're thinking this one over. Okay, so opponent goes for Violent Urge on the one that we block. That's great. Anyway, you're dying. So are we taking 4? Yes. Could it have been higher? Also yes. Obero. And there's that. I mean, the smart thing is to just Tasha. Alright. We milled a bunch of cards out of their deck with that. Okay, they have 17 cards left. Now, what's really good is we can potentially do a lot here. Okay, there's a monk. Plotting Slickshot. Okay, well, I'll take 2. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay. I mean, so let's bounce Obero to return Obero. And then I suppose we can wait to see what they start. Can we wait and see what they start casting? I don't know if we can. I don't think we can. Well, let's still just give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 12. Okay. I mean, that's Taylor. 3 cards in hand. 3 cards in hand. Slick shot that's plotted. There's Slick Rick. I mean, you just swing out. We will block here. Okay. So, does this opponent have... We are in double bolt range. We are in double bolt territory. All right. We are still not necessarily in a great spot. All right, what is the most threatening set of cards that we can run across right here? I'm kind of questioning that really heavily. I think, well, considering that that's one of them, I think we can be happy with this dying. Okay. What are you going to do? Oh, there's a lava dart. No. Okay. Lava dart goes crazy. I don't think we actually survive now. I think we die with our opponent having 1 card left in their library. Oh. That's just BM right there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, we do this. We go up to 17. And then it's just, we die. We die with everything coming at us right now. Ah, that's brutal. So close. All right. GG's. I'll see y'all in the wrap up. So, as it turns out, you probably don't want to play Mill right now. So, the choices that the 5-0 leader made with this deck, or the 5-0 winner with this deck made, are pretty good choices. Some of the deck is really slow, and the format is extremely fast. We didn't even see any of the big players that we know we had a little bit more game against. Prowess is definitely going to be out there at your RCQs. Don't run Mill if you know that there are Prowess players out there that have your number. Or Necrodominance players. In a combo deck that should have been an easier matchup, turns out that going a little bit slower and still being able to keep your pedal on the gas is pretty strong. But that's it for this time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you want to see me play next. Maybe we'll play Commander. Maybe we'll keep doing some Modern. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.